Hi, everybody. Rick here, going live on Digital Fortress. James says, I probably don't have time to make coffee. James, there's always time for coffee. Okay, so what am I going over today? Let me know if you can hear me all right. I don't have my headset on, so I can't hear the audio. And I'm going to go over the Cardano effect proposal for the Catalyst Fund 2. But I want to encourage people to build businesses on Cardano. Okay, you may have saw my tweet if that led you to this video. And what happened in 1983. Steve Jobs said to the Pepsi executive, John Scully, he said, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life, or do you want to come with me and change the world? I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you want to play with shit coins and build on shit coins all your life, or do you want to come with me to Cardano and change the world? You guys know what I'm talking about. Ladies, gentlemen, y'all know what I'm talking about. Project Catalyst is designed to do just that, to build businesses. Now, what I don't do is I don't like to preach to other people and tell them what to do, except for one thing: lead by example, build a business. If you're a developer, build code. If you're an entrepreneur, build a business, build on Cardano, lead by example. If you build it, they will come. The Project Catalyst challenge is, how can we encourage developers and entrepreneurs to build dApps and businesses on top of Cardano in the next 6 months? Well, if they're not already here, if they're not already looking at Cardano, they may have difficulty building those dApps in the next 6 months. They're probably already here. Papa Carp built Pool Tool. Newman built Adapools and his team. Pegasus built the Pegasus app. The Guild built CN Tools. People are already here. They're already building on Cardano. We don't have to suck them in from the entire world. They're already here, but it will help to attract more. That's what we need to do. And the way to do it is lead by example. It's kind of hard to preach. It's kind of hard to sell. It's kind of hard to tell. How can you do it? If you're a developer and you're an entrepreneur, get the information out there, make videos, make products. It's hard to make a video if you don't have a product. Get those products, get them out there to the world. Get them out there so the other developers can see it and draw them in. They see, wow, they're building on Cardano. I'm going to give you all some examples. When I first started with Cardano almost 3 years ago, late September 28th, 2017. It's almost that day. We are on the kind of like the 3-year anniversary of Cardano is today. Go figure. Well, I'm in the future right now, so it might be tomorrow for you guys. All right, September 28th, 2017, September 29th, 2017. That's around the time Cardano launched. And I found this program, Cardano, shortly after it launched. I saw Sebastian's videos. Sebastian was just a regular community guy like me. And I was like, wow, I can do that too. Cardano was not too big when I first got into it. It had its bull run, then it went to its bear market, and it just kept building. And Sebastian went to work over to Emergo. What did he do? He built on Cardano. Okay. There's lots of community members built on Cardano. I'm going to do a screen share, and then I'm going to show you the proposal for the Cardano effect. And I want you guys to beat me up. Okay. Don't go easy on me. Because it's important to get good, hard, critical feedback. All right. But first, I want to show you people who built on Cardano. I mentioned a few. Papa Carpet Pool Tool, the Guild, Ada Pools. They're there. They're building on Cardano. We need to bring in those dApp developers. We need all those people that learned Plutus and Marlowe, those financial experts, those entrepreneurs. Start building on Cardano. And the best way to do it, lead by example. If you have great ideas and great motivation, get in there on that Project Catalyst. I got the link down below. It's down in the description, and build it. All right. There's a lot of some people laugh at me. I call them the good idea fairies. There's a lot of good idea fairies out there, and that's great. We get these ideas, but we need doers, and we have them. They're here. Okay. So build on Cardano. Let me share my screen with you. Let me see. And I'm also going to check chat. So you can beat me up in the chat. Hello, everyone. Good to see you there. Ken McCall, K. Steen, Jay Casso, Joe G, Bas Venier, Mitt P. Hello, welcome. All right. I'm going to do a screen share here. I apologize. I'm short on space, but I will get it out to you. And I'm trying to check my chat over here, but I won't be able to do it. All right. So I'm going to share what's been built on Cardano since we all first got here, and that is this web browser. Can I share it? Yes, I can. All right. All right, so here's IOHK, IOG now. Now they're called IOG. When I first started off in this space, I think there was like maybe 80 to 100 team members, and now they have 240 team members. IOG continued to grow through the bear market. There are folks working at IOG today who were regular community members who are now over here at IOG, like Carlos. You know these folks. IOG continued to grow. They continued to build on Cardano, and the people you know and meet in Telegram and you've met at community meetups, they now work over there, right? They're all these places, all right. Just that's an example, right? I could search this and find people that we all know. Yeah, there's Carlos, right? He was just the guy in Telegram that you knew, and now he is an IOG ninja building training materials, building on Cardano. All right, now let's go to Emergo. All right, Emergo, Sebastian, Ruslan, other folks, they're regular community people. Now they're working at Emergo, continuing to build. When I first started in Cardano, Emergo had maybe 20 employees. Now they have 43 plus employees, and they are in 6+ countries. They're building on Cardano. Lead by example. Great job, Emergo. The Cardano Foundation. When I first started off here, I guess I knew of maybe 8 or 10 employees. Now they have, it looks like probably 22, 23, 24 employees. And a lot of these folks, Tommy, Andy, Niels, these are the folks that you knew from the community, and they decided to build on Cardano and build things that people want, like, desire, and they want to be a part of. And these guys have done a fantastic job. All right. So shout out to y'all. Now I'm going to stop that screen share for a moment. I'm going to hop over to the Project Catalyst, where Philippe and I have submitted the proposal for the Cardano Effect podcast. It is an aggressive proposal. It is a bold proposal, and we think we are doing the right thing by putting that proposal in to keep high value content that is concentrated on Cardano coming to the Cardano community. But we need your feedback. These Catalyst programs are going to go through iterative efforts where they get looked at, they get feedback from the community. Philippe and I will go in there and reply to people, and that's what we're going to do on this live stream. I'm going to go through the comments, and I'll let y'all take a look at it so you can see how it works, how Project Catalyst works. And what I encourage you to do, there's a link down below. If you don't have a Project Catalyst account, go ahead and build one, and then give us a clap and give us some feedback. And the feedback is the important part. All feedback is good feedback. Don't worry about wording. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Y'all know we've been doing the Cardano Effect for a while, and all feedback is good feedback. Just get your ideas in there, get your thoughts, let us know what you think of the proposal, and we'll just make it better and better as time goes on. Okay. So let me get on to the proposal. Any questions yet? Let me know in chat. You can also do a Rick roast. If you look at my proposal and you go like, man, you don't even know how to spell. All right, throw it in there. If you got ideas on how you think how I could make the proposal better, throw it in there. All right. Let me know. Let me see if there's any questions so far. I, the King. Hello, friends. Gerald G says, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Gerald. J. Casso, amen. Amen to that. All right. Relax King says, would it be great to connect people with good ideas with people that can build? Yes. There are people in Cardano that can build. We want more people to come into Cardano and build more. So that's my idea. That's my concept. Lead by example. For example, the Cardano Effect. We've had entrepreneurs on the Cardano Effect. We've had people like Caitlin Long, Jonathan Dunsmore. We've had people from other businesses. We've had Cody. The folks from Cody have been on the Cardano Effect. So if you lead by example is the best way to do it. And get them on there, let them show their wares, let them show what they have to offer. And that will also then attract other developers to say, wow, those developers are building on Cardano. Those entrepreneurs are involved with Cardano. Maybe we should take a harder look at Cardano. So y'all get what I'm saying? I think you get what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to hop over here to the Project Catalyst Fund. I'll go over it briefly. We used very short statements. Then I'll go over the feedback, and y'all let me know what you think. So let me get that going. I didn't want to use up a lot of your time, but I did want to get your feedback, get this video out there, and get some people active on the Cardano Effect proposal on Project Catalyst. And again, the link is down below in the description. Okay, so let me share my other screen here, the web browser with the Catalyst proposal. Send that out to you. All right, so here is the website to Project Catalyst here. It's at cardano.ideascale. Let me try to shift this out of the way. Cardano.ideascale.com. You make an account there. Here's our Cardano Effect podcast proposal. Here's like, this is where you clap, and then down below is where you leave feedback. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from various members of the community, and we'll go over that in a bit. Now, here's the proposal. So Philippe and I had watched the town hall videos with Dor Gabash, and you need to keep, or it's recommended to keep the problem statement short, keep the solution short, put in your relevant experience, respect people's time, and keep that brief. Then what Philippe did is he took the meat of our proposal with all of the detail, and he put that in as an attachment. So if you want to read greater detail, there's an attachment here on the proposal so you can dive in under the hood. Now, we figured a lot of people who are involved with Cardano are already going to be very familiar with the Cardano effect because we've had such a variety of guests on the program, and we've been running the podcast for almost 2 years now. We've got 106 episodes, 107 is about to release. So most people are familiar with it. We didn't want to go into all that. So we got our problem statement. Now, the initial problem statement is the overall governing problem statement is, how do you attract developers and entrepreneurs to build on Cardano? And that is the key statement that people are trying to solve. And there are some really good ideas in here. You should go in there and check them out. Some of them are concepts on how to recruit, how to reach out and find the developers. I personally, what I prefer is how do we attract the developers and how do we attract the entrepreneurs? There's two different concepts here. There's promotion and there is attraction. And promotion is a little bit more where you dig into it, and promotion is a good technique to where you're actively digging into and finding people. And then there's attraction where you just advertise your wares. And I'll give you an example. Here's an example I've used. Promotion is if you're walking down the street and someone walks up to you with a pamphlet or flyer and they're saying, here, come over to our restaurant. Here's some coupons. Here's some stuff. And they throw some stuff at you. And that's how I conceptualize promotion. Attraction is they advertise their wares. And when you see it or you're looking for something, go, aha, I like that. You see a particular store, a particular restaurant, a particular type of food. That's attraction where you go, that's what I'm looking for. And attraction tends to work pretty well. So my suggestion is attraction will draw in the developers and the entrepreneurs. And that's what we can do with the Cardano Effect podcast. All right. Now I'm going to have to manipulate my screen a little so I can see chat. That way, if you have questions or you want to roast me, feel free to do so. All right. So I can see both at the same time. So we got our problem statement. This is to answer the problem statement that governs this particular fund too. Cardano is a niche blockchain project. A podcast is a great medium that can be used to disseminate information to a broad audience. That was our statement. The solution is the Cardano Effect podcast to draw entrepreneurs and developers onto the podcast, describe their products, and tell their stories. Okay. And we've done that very effectively. We have stayed Cardano focused, Cardano centric. All right. We did not meander out and say, when's Bitcoin going to $100,000? Could we have done that? Could we have done that kind of spammy titles and said, can Cardano make you a millionaire? No, we didn't do that, right? We didn't do these Cardano millionaire. We didn't do TA, green candles. Will that draw more subscribers? Sure. That will draw in more subscribers. People love that stuff. If I wanted to, on my Digital Fortress channel here, I could put up a thumbnail of an anaconda eating Kim Kardashian, and I would get like 5 million views and 10,000 subscribers. But we're not going to do that because the Cardano Effect is a professional platform. It was born in the fire of Cardano. Okay. Philippe ran the Philpa channel and I ran the Digital Fortress channel long before we joined forces to build the Cardano Effect in conjunction with Charles Hoskinson and other community members. And if you all recall, people who've been around for a while, when we came up with the name for the Cardano Effect, Philippe and I ran a competition for the name, and we ran a competition for the logo. All right. So we put our funds into saying, all right, let's get a name. Let's field it to the community. We ran surveys. We did a vote. We counted nominations, and we found a winner, and then we awarded the winner for the Cardano effect. I even remember who it is. I didn't even have to look it up. Crypto Secret Circle was the guy who submitted the Cardano effect, but other people did as well. He's just one of the people I particularly remember. And then for the Cardano effect logo, we ran it. We did another giveaway competition for a logo contest, and I've got a video on my channel that shows you over 80 logos were submitted. We had a pretty good prize money on it. I don't remember what it was, a couple thousand ADA at the time, a couple thousand ADA. And it was someone named Maxime. Maxime submitted the winning logo that is now the logo. So we've had great community engagement right from the beginning. Now that's my selling point, my elevator pitch for the Cardano effect. All right. Here's some of the examples of the businesses and developers, entrepreneurs that we've brought on to the program that I have listed on the screen. That is listed over there in our proposal. Now let's get down to the feedback. Again, all feedback is good feedback. You got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to have thick skin. Philippe and I have been dealing this for quite some time. We get people who give us high fives, kudos, love your program. And occasionally we get some harsh feedback that we have to address. For example, we created the TCE Clips channel because people's primary complaint was your podcast is too long. Okay. But in order to get quality content that is usable for people like entrepreneurs and developers, we had to spend a lot of time researching to build the content, to build the knowledge base, and to get the right people on the podcast to really dive deep into Cardano. You know, we had to get that deep dive in there. So we've got a good track record of doing that. So let me go over to see if there's any questions, and then I'll go over this review over here. Hopefully, yeah, okay, you can still see that. That's still being shared out. Unfortunately, I can't pull up a second screen. I'm isolated to just my laptop here because as you can see, oh, I can pull it up now. As you can see, I'm on work travel, which I'm working a lot. Okay. All right. So good morning, everyone. Gene Pasker, how you doing? Relax King and Blaster, good morning. Vasily Korokev says, hi, Rick. Thanks for everything you do for the community. Thank you, Vasily. I appreciate it. Now, Chupacabra asks, how are we going to attract really big players? That is a good question. If you have an idea to bring in the biggest players, get that into the catalyst, get your ideas, but it can't just be an idea. It's something that you actually have to do, right? You actually have to do it. And I'll tell you what, guys, here's my guess. This is just, it's not speculation. It's like an educated guess. Emergo means emerging. It's Japanese. I happen to be in Japan right now. I don't speak Japanese too good. Okay. And Emergo is the business arm. And my things that I've mentioned before is Emergo needs something to build on to bring in those big businesses. I think Emergo is going to have no problem getting a hold of the big ones, you know, like, I don't know, Microsoft, Google, just throw the alphabet soup of all these big companies out there. We just have to get Goguen deployed, because then on top of Goguen, you can build financial and smart contract stuff, industrial strength, DARPA grade software built on top of Cardano, because that's how Cardano was built in the first place. This is DARPA grade software. This is not built in some guy's garage last weekend. Okay. So Emergo will be able to bring those big players in. In the meantime, you guys need to be like the Steve Jobs of 1983 or 1970s, where he built the first Apple computer in his garage with Steve Wozniak. Are there still Steve Jobses out there? Yes. Are they in Cardano? Probably. Are they going to build stuff in their garage that someday changes the world? Most likely. That's how it works, right? There are still Steve Jobses out there. All y'all know the comparison of the Nokia phone, right? The Nokia phone was like a brick, and the Nokia phone ruled the world. If you dropped a Nokia phone on your foot, you're probably going to break your foot, okay? But they're gone now. The iPhone and the Android took over the market. That's Cardano. Cardano is like the iPhone, Android of blockchain. That's the direction it's going. If blockchain is going to be successful, it's going to be Cardano. The big boys will figure that out when they see the folks that you know, the folks you see in Telegram, the folks you see on social media. They start launching things like Pool Tool. They start launching things like Ada Pools. They start launching apps that run on iPhone. Ada Pools now has an app on the iPhone. Pegasus tool is now called Pool Tool that on the iPhone and the Android. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Developers see that and they say, wow, they're building on Cardano. What's coming next? What are we looking for? We want them to build dApps, okay, or apps. Basically, a dApp it's an app that talks to a blockchain, right? That's all it does. We need to pull them in. We need to draw them in. I don't think it's going to be very difficult. Sometime later this week, there was a little hint dropped earlier this week that there's something moving over to Cardano. I don't know who it is, but I know Erg, who just teamed up with Emergo, the CEO of Erg, or the guy in charge of Erg, is the guy who basically invented Chainlink before it became Chainlink. That's in one of the Cardano Effect episodes, if you want to check that out, with Robert Kornacki, episode 106. All right. Yeah. So bring in those big players. They're gonna show up, but you build from the ground up. You build a solid foundation. The big players are going to show up. Okay. Let's see. Jason Durham says, is the Cardano Effect a member of the ambassador program? No, the Cardano Effect is not, but Philippe and I are. We happen to also be ambassadors as content creators for my Digital Fortress channel here and his Philpa channel. And his Philpa channel has been the biggest channel in Cardano since the beginning of Cardano. We are not bandwagon hoppers. Okay. Philippe and I have been here since the beginning. We didn't build a channel somewhere else on some other platform with green candle videos. We built our channels on Cardano, Digital Fortress, Philpa. We are the OGs of Cardano here. Let's see. Steve Evans says the Cardano Effect podcast is generally too long, but long videos are fine if you can add them to the time jump links for each topic. Yeah, Steve Edwards is right. It is a long podcast. That's why we built the TCE Clips channel, where if you want to just get the 3 to 5 minute clips of the key sound bites, you can use TCE Clips. If you want the deep dive under the hood, that's going to be on the main channel. But thank you for that, Steve. Okay. Gary Golden says the thoughts on the needs for us to have regional level strategies versus city-based meetups. I'm formulating strategy to bring together Cardano community from Boston to DC, and you're in New York City. That's Gary. That's a great place to do it from. Get those meetups going, get the ideas flowing, get people together on how they build on Cardano. Right now, the best way to do it is using Zoom or some type of video teleconferencing thing. But if you're getting people to travel, what's the best way to do that? There is a Cardano meetup guideline on the Cardano forum. Okay, so you can check that out. Now I'm going to hop over here to the feedback. This is where you guys roast me. Don't let me off the hook. No easy day, right? No easy day. Not for me today. It's a long day. It's not over yet. All right. So the first point of feedback here was from a gentleman named Sabi, and Sabi says, we have 8,300 subscribers for 106 episodes. So far, it's like 80 subscribers per episode. Since you want to produce 24 episodes, the payment of 750,000 ADA brings it around 2,000 subscribers or better, 375 ADA cost per subscriber. Okay, so he ran a little bit of math. All right, so Philippe and I submitted this proposal. We ran the math. When we initially did it and we looked, how much is the current price of ADA versus how many hours do we put in? And the most expensive part of building a high quality podcast like the Cardano Effect is the amount of research we put in ahead of time, the amount of preparation, contacting the guests, coordinating all the pieces, and then actually executing the podcast. After the podcast, there's post-editing, uploads, and paying off our service providers and all that kind of stuff. So the time adds up. It really does. You'd be surprised. That doesn't include my personal playtime on Telegram, right? Doesn't include that. It includes all the work you got to do to make sure you're ready for a podcast, and then do the podcast, and then post-production on the podcast. So it is a lot of work. And Philippe and I had a long discussion about it. We said, how much is the time and effort worth based on the current rate of ADA? And we put it in. We said it's 750,000. We did have the discussion and said, wow, that's a lot of money. It was actually 1.5 million for a year. Right now, our current production rate is 4.82 podcasts per month. So that was 107 podcasts over 22 months. Okay. So it seems like a lot of money. But if you want to attract developers to Cardano, you got to pay them for their time, effort, and skills. All right. Most of the cost of anything you do is time. That's how businesses work. If you pay developers proportionately for the level of effort and skill, you pay entrepreneurs, or if entrepreneurs can identify the business angle, to get paid proportionally for the time, effort, labor, and skills they put into it. Okay. Then that attracts them. They say, there's money to be made there. Like they can build on Cardano and earn a living. They can build on Cardano and build an empire, right? That's what we're looking for. They can build on Cardano and build an empire. You guys have heard it before. We're going for $1 trillion market cap. We're going for number one. We're not going for number three. We're going for number one. We're not going for Bitcoin's market cap of 169 billion. We're going for $1 trillion. We're trying to reach 3 billion people, right? We're not playing. We're doing it. We're going for it. Like I said at the beginning, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life, or do you want to change the world? You're not going to do it by saying, hey, developers, come on over to Cardano to supplement your income. Hey, entrepreneurs, come on over to Cardano to supplement your income. Those people out there who have great ideas, if they can make more money delivering pizza, they're going to deliver pizza. That's just how it works. If they can make more money writing apps for Microsoft and Google, they're going to go work for Microsoft and Google. They're not going to come work on Cardano. You have to pay them commensurate for the time, effort, and skills that they put into it. All right. I'm not trying to preach or lecture. I'm just being perfectly honest. I know 750,000 is too much. Philippe and I discussed that before we even submitted the proposal, because Fund 1 only has 2.5 million ADA in it. And as the iterative process takes place, the higher amount you ask, the higher probability of failure. That's okay. If it doesn't pass, we'll go for Fund 3. If it doesn't pass, we'll go for Fund 4. Or we'll break it up. We've got feedback for that. All right. Thank you for that feedback, Mr. Sabi. And Philippe had responded very kindly in turn. And we've taken his feedback, and we're going to take these feedbacks and roll them in. And I made some comments on here. Like, the Cardano effect never uses the cheap pickup lines. We purposely decided to stick to high quality Cardano specific content. And we use meaningful titles to describe the content of TCE. So it's like a professional podcast. And we got feedback on that as well. Is it worth the 750,000 ADA? That's what people often say. Is it really worth that much? Well, I think so. I wouldn't have put it in writing. If you don't think so, I will take your feedback. We will look at it. What can we do about that? Right. But we did put a lot of time and effort, and we have an audio technician and a video a person who's like expert level on videos to do the post-production editing. Okay. And we pay those guys, and we pay for subscriptions. We pay for Libsyn feed to upload and store the data, and that data is permanent. It's there forever. Once we upload it and put those streams out, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeart, all these different platforms, we use the storage facility on Libsyn. That's permanent. It's never going away. So that's a permanent piece of Cardano, including YouTube. Our stuff's on YouTube, and we're also synchronizing with library to make sure it stays permanent. All right, so let me, I'm going to go to the feedback. Let me check chat, and I'm going to try to get through this a little bit quicker. I noticed I am taking up a little bit more time than I initially intended to. Let's see. The podcast is generally too long. Okay, so I hit that one. Gary Golden, regional strategies. James Kelly says, hello, James. Good to see you there. James says, I decided to rebuild my trading competition site to use Cardano for fees and payouts. Staking wallets to show total balances while traders can still have their own deposit address. James, that's a good idea. If you want to build on Cardano and you're not a developer, build a stake pool. That's also building on Cardano. Okay. There was a back and forth between Dan Larimer and Charles Hoskinson on Twitter about a month ago about who's more decentralized, 20 EOS nodes or 1,000, Dan was basically doubting that we have 1,000 pool operators. We have 1,000 pool operators. They're out there. Look at Twitter, look at social media. You can't fake that. You can't fake it. All right. Now, yes, small pools are struggling, but we know when you build a business, when you first get up and running, it's difficult at first. And then as the business and market conditions adjust, then your top pools are going to keep running. A couple of pools are going to fall out, but you're going to end up with a stronger network in the end. They're building on Cardano. So great job, pool operators. Let's see. AGI is a project coming to Cardano. I the King says that. I the King, I don't know what AGI is. Or I didn't look it up. I don't remember all the different letter combinations of what projects are coming over, but there has been some speculation of the project coming over to Cardano. All right, thanks for that information. Gary Golden goes on to mention regional strategy solutions for supply chains, government contracts. Okay, regional strategy solutions, good. Yeah, supply chain contracts are good. I always thought there's some high quality parts that are good blockchain opportunities where they have to have a chain of custody for safety reasons, or they have to have a chain of custody for quality control reasons. Those are good candidates for blockchain. So good ideas, Gary. It took me a moment for it to sink in to realize what we were trying to say. All right. Metal Gear Mark III says, I would like to build a video game on Cardano. Not sure if it's even possible. You wouldn't build the video game on Cardano, or you could, but what you would do is you build a video game that runs independently but talks to the blockchain or interacts with the blockchain or has a dApp and a token that runs on the blockchain. And however you want that to interact. You can look at Ethereum for how the games on Ethereum work, and the same concept will apply to Cardano. All right. So not just CryptoKitties, they do have some other more advanced games running on Ethereum and EOS. Those same games would run in the same manner on Cardano, right? So you can always look to other projects for good ideas, okay? And then you translate those to Cardano and make them better. One thing I have to say about Cardano, I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Oh, we got feedback. Let me finish the feedback, and then I'll finish up with my information here. Please let me know if I can improve the proposal. From Pritesh Kazai, he says, he just wanted to thank Rick and Philippe for our efforts over the 100 episodes, and he'd been a viewer, and I think he had, but the question he had is, will this proposal for funding be in addition to the sponsorship from the Cardano Foundation? Any information regarding this would be greatly appreciated. The answer to that is no, and Philippe answered it here. We do have the Cardano Foundation as a sponsor. We did have other sponsors, like a gambling organization or whatever they were. We had people offer to sponsor the Cardano Effect, like one episode or one commercial at a time. Our response to them was no, because the product they wanted to advertise did not align with Cardano values or the goal or mission of the Cardano Effect. So we had to politely decline. We did not pick up sponsors like Trezor and Ledger. That's who we were looking for. But when we're running with the DAO money or the Catalyst Fund, that will also open the opportunity to look, and Gogan is launched, that we can bring in sponsors to the Cardano Effect who want to put the proper commercials on the Cardano Effect. If y'all noticed, on the Cardano Effect, we turned commercials off a long time ago. You remember when those scams started popping up? I shut it down immediately. The first thing I did, Philippe was like, oh man, look at all these scams out here. I was like, dude, that stuff might show up on our channel. So we shut it down. That is Philippe and I level. That's our standards. Okay. And that's important. I don't care if you get lost ad revenue. It's not that much anyway, right? If anyone that runs a YouTube channel knows, you don't make that much in ad revenue unless you're getting like 60 million likes because you got an anaconda eating Kim Kardashian on your thumbnail. Okay. We don't do that. All right. So I had some feedback. Thank you, Pritesh, for that feedback. Pritesh, Kaizen Crypto, he also has a proposal on there. Good luck with your proposal, Pritesh. If we need to, we will break that proposal up into multiple funds. We'll break it down to like 375, break it up across a couple of funds. If you guys think it's a good idea, let me know. I have some feedback from Bert. Bert is an old friend of mine from way back in the day of the Guardian days. Then we had a kind of a rough parting of the ways. We kind of went our separate ways and said, okay, let's kind of, we had some differences, but that's okay. Bert's a good guy. He's really smart. and he left me some feedback. So thank you, Bert. I appreciate it. And he says, I think the podcast needs to radically change format. Yep, that sounds like Bert. Yes, thank you, Bert. I get you. Bert is a big thinker. He's got some great ideas and big ideas. All right. And he goes on to look at the metrics of the podcast, the number of views per episode. And he's right. He has a good point. And Philippe replied to Bert. I saw that earlier. I'm on Japan time right now. And Philippe launched this in the morning in the U.S. time, or mid-afternoon U.S. time yesterday. And then Philippe also responded to Bert, and we will take his feedback and see if we can use it to improve our proposal. Now, we did keep our proposal short. So you see that Philippe has a very long response here, and he's a gentleman about it, which is the right way to do it. And up here in the proposal, we kept it short, but in the attachment, that's where we can put in our changes. And you can see over here where people are getting likes and clicks. You got like Big Pay. He's got a proposal in there for the Cardano Aura. So we have that was from Bert. Thank you, Bert. Also, Pay left us some feedback over here, and he says he loves the Cardano Effect podcast. And then he goes on to also say, "You're asking 750,000 ADA." Yep, we knew we were going to get beat up on that. And that's out of 2,167,000 ADA. Now, here's the deal. It's not going to be 750,000 ADA. It's not. Okay. Here's how this works. And let me check chat to make sure I get your questions. It's not going to be 750,000. So right off the top, we're going to assume that we are going to get maximum vote participation because Cardano is an energized community, which means 20% of that is going to be taken out in votes. Okay, all right, 20%. If you vote, you go on project. Here's the motivator for you all, for everyone who's watching the live stream right now. When you vote on these projects, you're going to get rewards. You'll get rewards for voting. All right, so I'm going to go with the concept. We're going to get maximum voter turnout. People in Cardano are excited. People are energized. So 20% of that 750,000, which is I did the math on 150,000 will turn into rewards money. We don't get that. Okay. Then we have to pay our service providers and our support team in dollars. So not only do we get taxed on the ADA, we got to convert it to dollars, make our payments, and we're going to have slippage. That's going to cut a little bit of money out for taxes, a little bit of money out for conversion, and as it moves through the system. So you end up losing a bit here and losing a bit there. So we did the math and said, this is how much we should ask. Hopefully, everybody else did the math too. If you submitted a proposal for 10,000 ADA, well, you can write off 2,000 of it right off the top because 2,000 is going to go to the voters and only 8,000 is going to go to the developer. So if developers are coming to Project Catalyst, you think about that. Put that into your costs. That's a loss. So you got to mark it up and say, okay, this is a loss I got to take. If you do it right, you might be able to put it as it's not a business loss, but you'll figure it out. Just be alert to that is there. That is going to happen. But thank you, Pay, for that feedback. Kyle Solomon also chimed in over here, and he agrees with the idea of splitting up the larger proposals. And Kyle also has a proposal out there as well. You can check his out with a Doja Wolf. And Philippe has taken that feedback on board, and we're going to take a look at the analysis of the cost. So that was the key. People were mostly concerned about the cost. That was the main thing. People are not concerned about the quality. I'm going to stop my screen share and make sure I can take chat comments here. Okay. So there's our proposal. Please leave us some feedback on there, on that proposal, some written text, even if it's just brief. If you got some ideas on how we should break it up or what you think we should do with breaking out, or just keep it all as one lump sum for the cost of 750,000 ADA. But we also got to keep in mind that the conversion doesn't take place until November 11th. And I don't think it's just going to be the raw straight ADA. They're going to have to look at the market price and all these other things. There'll be a little bit of adjustments, but based on the current rate, that's how we figured it out. That's how we figured out how much ADA to put in it. We can't speculate and say, will it be $1 a year from now? Or is it going to be something less? You just have to be realistic and say, what's the price right now? All right, so let me see if there's any more questions we got here. Thank you all for giving me some feedback on this. You can roast me if you want. You say, what the hell are you guys doing? 750,000 ADA. You crazy? Y'all ain't that good. No, I'm just kidding. We have high standards. We have high standards at the Cardano effect. You all have noticed. It's the score is on the scoreboard with the number of videos and the quality of the content. And we're very consistent about treating guests well, coordinating with their time schedule. We tend to shift our time to make sure we can accommodate the guests' schedule as best we can. We most often accommodate the guests' time. We get that to fit in. It takes a little effort to get that in there. All right, so I just want to let you know. Let's see. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions or comments. Can we get the chat overlay technology on live stream so we can see chat while in full screen? That was from Nerd 2188. What you can do is hit the three dots on the top right and hit pop out, and it will pop it out. But I'm not sure what platform you're on. Let's see. And Nerd 2188 says to Metal Gear, check out Splinterlands. It's a game based off of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and you'll be able to build those on Cardano. So you're gonna be able to build non-fungible tokens, smart contracts, all kinds of various other items. And there are ideas that people haven't even thought of yet or haven't presented. They've thought of them and haven't presented to the public. So you're going to see a lot of really cool ideas show up on Cardano, high quality financial products showing up on Cardano because Cardano was built right from the ground up. That's the right way to build something. Engineer Prepper says, good morning, Rick, just joined. Engineer Prepper, what I was doing was I was screen sharing the proposal for the Cardano effect on Project Catalyst. The link is down below in the description. If you click on that link, you can read the proposal, provide us some feedback, leave us some claps, help us out there with the claps. Apparently that kind of boosts your metrics or gets you a better look. And then leave us some written feedback that we can include in the proposal and make it better, okay? Let's see. So Zoso says, hi, Rick, why don't you guys ask for smaller chunks of ADA in each funding round? We can also do that. That is an option. And the way the timing and the schedule's laid out, we just got to look at it and say, well, what makes sense so we can keep this moving out? Oh, I know why. Philippe and I had discussed that, breaking it down into 3 months. So we had options. We said, we break it down into 3 months and then ask on different funding rounds. Okay. But as we read through the proposal in great detail, it says in the next 6 months, and then in the town hall discussion from Door, he said, we can check back next March, like March 21st, and say, how well did it do? So our concept was, well, we're looking at a 6-month metric, so maybe we better ask for a 6-month slot, okay? And if it doesn't pass on Fund 2, we'll try for Fund 3, and we'll break it up into Fund 3, Fund 4, or whatever it is. But that's the key to Project Catalyst is you take the feedback, you make your ideas better. If it doesn't pass or win the first round, then you resubmit and try to win second, third, and fourth. And what happens is, like what's happened with other projects such as Dash, is the main projects that sustain the ecosystem resubmit proposals on each round, and they become the decentralized entities that sustain the ecosystem, okay? And that's like the goal with a DAO, all right? So eventually a DAO will start to form in Cardano where teams of developers get together and they say, all right, we build this part of Cardano. We build the financial smart contracts part. Other people can, but they'll form like the meat and potatoes of it. And then what you'll see is businesses starting to form around stuff like that. And then you have developers working on UIs and developers working on games. And you might have developers will find each other and they say, hey, I've built a game before and you've built the smart contracts before and you've built a non-fungible token before. And let's kind of put our heads together and make something. Like, I'll give you a good example. I'm hoping those guys on the Saturn network, I'm hoping that they take a good hard look at Cardano, because they did some pretty incredible work with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic on the Saturn network. If you haven't seen it, go to Saturn.network and check out the Saturn Network, or check out their forum, Saturn Network. They have a discourse forum, and they've done some pretty amazing things. The Saturn Network works completely decentralized. It's a DEX. It's a true DEX. And that'd be interesting to see them replicate their efforts that they built on Ethereum and Ethereum Classic on Cardano. That would be fantastic. Jason Durham says, please also check out RENA users group project, where we propose to implement Ouroboros over RENA as a test. Exciting times. All claps are appreciated. Yes, RENA is recursive internetwork architecture, and it's a technology that could not replace the internet, but supplant the internet, where the internet and RENA are running in parallel. And Jason, I'm assuming you're one of the members of that team in Crypto Ninja. They're going to come on the Cardano effect. It's probably going to be the first episode. So at the Cardano effect, we never run out of ideas. Don't worry about, because we listen to the community, we listen to feedback, we look for the gaps, and we look for what needs to be done in the Cardano system, and we do it. So at the Cardano effect, we've come out with a new mini series called the Gauntlet. All right. And the Gauntlet is where people who have submitted proposals can come on, present their proposal, and we have to put them through a set of rigorous questions. And me and Philippe as well, we need to get hit with the same rigorous questions on why their project should be funded. How does it support Cardano? How is it better than other projects? And then there'll be custom questions. It's going to be a live stream where people who are in the chat can ask the questions of the person submitting the proposal. All right. And there's a lot of folks like DC, and DC has a very strong proposal in, and he would like to present that on the Gauntlet. So that's what we're trying to do to help support people who are also putting in proposals, is we're going to give them a platform, because we know the Cardano effect is a huge platform, and we know that the viewers are Cardano heavy. We're heavy on the Cardano viewers. So that will give the people putting in their proposals the opportunity to reach thousands of people in Cardano, the people who are going to go on the Catalyst and vote for them. Okay. So I think it's a double benefit. It provides the community a better opportunity to ask questions about the projects, and it provides the people working on that project the opportunity to make their case. And if people that have a good project, they won't BS you. You will know they are genuine. They have a real project, and you're also going to, don't be surprised if something kind of scammy shows up on Catalyst. I've seen some things on there where I was like, oh, that doesn't look doable, right? I mean, it happens. And we're going to kind of screen them out. So we're going to bring on the best of the best projects. The people are willing to come on onto the Gauntlet so that they can present. We'll have 3 projects per episode, 20 minutes apiece. They'll give like a 5-minute elevator pitch. Then we'll go through a series of questions to make sure they got their project down pat. It'll help them out as well, and it'll also inform the community. And then we'll open it up at the end for questions from chat. All right. Let me get a few more questions here, and then I'll wrap up. And if you guys got anything, please throw it in the chat and let me know. Let's see. Did you choose a nice pool? Yeah, it is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is it already clear what David Likes Crypto will do for IOG? Will it be like the Cardano effect? David Likes Crypto is a very good content developer, and he's going to make targeted content for IOG to explain the technologies or explain what is being delivered by IOG. Okay. And he's very good at that. That's what he's going to do. He's going to deliver content. I'll give you an example. When you buy a car, it has a user's manual. Okay. Now, when you download Daedalus doesn't come with a user's manual. They rely on the community, the Cardano community, to make their versions, our versions, like I have on Digital Fortress, of the user's manual. And this is just my thought. He's going to make like the official user's manual. This is how you do it. Okay. This is how you Daedalus. This is how you delegate to a pool. Daedalus is going to become very powerful. So I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but if I had David on my team, he would be doing stuff like, you're going to be able to vote with an app. So he's probably going to make the official content. Here's how you vote with the app. Now I'll make a video on Digital Fortress, but he'll probably make the calibrated, scientifically reviewed version of it. And then Daedalus will get very high tech. It'll be like an app store for all the dApps, tokens, NFTs, financial services, stuff like that when Goguen comes out, right? And so he's probably going to give the official description of this is how it works, right? So that's what I think David's doing. I hope I answered your question, Gino, or who asked the question there. Richard Vandermullen. I don't know for certain, but I've got a pretty good idea. He's probably going to do stuff like that because he's really good at it. He's really good. And that was a great move by IOG to bring him on to make those videos. Gino loves your work. Thank you. Will K value be raised? Yeah, K will be raised. K will be raised. I thought K should have started out about 250. I'm kind of going off on a tangent. Sorry. I think it'll be raised to about 250-ish, maybe 300. If it could hit 400, maybe like long term, say, well, K is only supposed to be raised as the price of ADA goes up significantly. That's why you're supposed to raise K. You're not supposed to raise K because you want to satisfy more stake pool operators, and all the stake pool operators know that. They get it. So yeah, K is probably gonna. I'm thinking 250, maybe 300. It could hit 400 to prevent multiple changes, because the more you change K, the more painful it is for the delegators. Okay. Because then if they're not looking and K goes up, saturation goes down, and they start losing money, and it's kind of annoying, and you don't want to piss the delegators off, right? Don't piss off the customers. That's always a good philosophy. So I'll go back to the project here, Project Catalyst. Back to the project. Words in the Wilderness says, if we have a good app idea, but no technical ability or team, should we be making the app proposal? I don't know. I think if you're making the proposal, you need to be able to do it. I mean, that's how it reads. If you're submitting the proposal, you have to be able to execute. If you have an app idea, I still have the public roadmap, and we have the public roadmap channel, and it's an open spreadsheet, open to the world to annotate, and you can put the idea on there. But I've got a suggestion for you, okay? So let's see. This is from Words in the Wilderness. If you have an app idea, but you don't have the technical skills, what I would do is, if I were you, is find a developer that can do it and see if they'll make an agreement with you, okay? Because if you have a unique idea and that idea solves a problem, then you could probably work something out, okay? But these new apps on Cardano, in my opinion, it needs to do one of two things. It needs to make my life easier. Like, if you're a user, you got to look at it from the user perspective. One of the problems in Cardano is too many things get looked at from the developer perspective, which is bad. They don't do enough surveys. There are not enough surveys in Cardano. If there's one thing they need more of, is more surveys. What does the user need, right? Or focus groups. And that is, how do I make crypto easier for the user, right? If you can do that, you might have a successful dApp, maybe. Or how do you solve a problem? You might have a successful dApp or app that runs on that. So if you can figure that out, all right. One thing I don't want to see on Cardano is a big pile of worthless, like, just debris, like what happened with Ethereum in the 2017 ICO. There was so much. I don't want to see that. That's why Philippe and I, this idea we had for the gauntlet, this was months and months ago. It's just now the opportunity is here. We couldn't launch it months ago. So many months ago, Philippe and I were talking, and we're like, what happens when Goguen launches? We thought Goguen was going to be out by July, but it's not. I mean, here it is, the end of September, because the testnet launched in January, February, and then, you know the deal. Anyway, Philippe and I said, what happens if all of these dApps launch on Cardano and they're worthless and the community members start losing money? That's what we were thinking. How do we take care of you guys? How do we take care of Cardano community? And how do we not protect them, but inform them? How do we give them enough information so that they don't get sucked into these garbage scams? Like even Traxia fell off the cliff. And that one was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it still fell off the cliff, right? Along with the other ICOs. How do we prevent that on Cardano? Well, the answer is education. Don't tell people what to do. Just provide them enough information they can make a good decision, right? And that's the only thing we can really do, the Cardano effect. Provide people the information and they can look at it and say, is that a good dApp? Should I be messing with that? Should I be wasting my time, wasting my effort, wasting my money on it? Or should I look at a better one? That's what we're going to do in the Cardano effect and the gauntlet, right? So hopefully that makes more sense. Let's see anything else in there. Questions related to that. EOS has lots of crappy dApps. I'm not surprised. And anyone can launch a dApp on Cardano. All right. It's a matter of, you got to filter it out. You got to say, which of these are worth my time or trading with, and which ones do I need to ignore? And hopefully we can provide you that information so you can find the good ones, that are good for the user or solve a problem. Let's see. There's a lot of gambling dApps on Tron. Yeah, gambling dApps are pretty popular because, people in crypto tend to be kind of gamblers anyway. So, gambling dApps tend to do pretty good. I've seen that. There's one on EOS or on Ethereum, Ether roll. People love that, man. A lot of ether goes through that thing. It's pretty simple. Make a bet, roll it. I don't recommend it. You're probably going to lose. The odds are right there on your screen. Nerd2188 says, for me, if they pay the fee, they're welcome to me. Yep, there you go. All right, that's good. Let's see. Mach2 Egrin says, love the energy and passion you guys show for this, Rick. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mach2 Egrin. Thank you, Mach2. I appreciate it. Taking action is the answer. Improvements, making it better will come. Yep, there you go. So yeah, that's my only suggestion. I don't like to preach or pontificate. I only suggest lead by example. If you want businesses and developers on Cardano, then build a business and develop on Cardano, right? And that will draw others. If you build it, they will come. And I want to end this on a note, the same as I started off with my comment from Steve Jobs. Do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life, or do you want to come with me and change the world? If you want to come with me and change the world, build on Cardano. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching Digital Fortress. Y'all have a great day. Check out Project Catalyst. Check out the links down below. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.